Whoa.
or came. And
What? In order to, I can't.
30 days.
Hello everyone, it's your boy EverLast, and today we're going to be discussing a serious topic, so stick around to the end, and if you don't, tell me why in the comments. That would be really appreciated. Love you for your time already, but let's discuss the Emiru situation, because as someone who has younger sisters, this is honestly upsetting, and when you see the circumstances leading up to and the aftermath, you will be upset too, I promise you. So, if you haven't seen the clip of the incident that happened at Twitch the other day, I believe it was on October 17th, Emiru, a popular Twitch streamer who I know from watching Tectone and Asmongold, had a weirdo, not a fan because a fan would never do this, walk up to her booth while she was doing her meet and greet, and this absolute clown scumbag managed to get past their quote-unquote security to meet the popular streamer and grab her by the shoulders, and they attempted to kiss her in front of everyone. So she basically got SA'd in front of everyone. Like, that's like sexual assault. Let that sink in for a moment there. In front of everybody, she got sexually assaulted. That's insane. She was doing what she was paid there for, and trying to make fans happy and do so with the expectation of security placed on Twitch. So she gave them her trust, and they allowed someone to get close enough to stab her. Right? Get close enough to stab her. There's so many upsetting things about this, but I'll play the clip just in case you haven't seen it. Whoa. Seeing that shit honestly makes me sick a little, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic either. This is like, I was choked at the fan, but he didn't even know what happened. Like, that's how like nobody even seen what was happening. He didn't even notice. He looked away and then bam. Because who expects that to happen at an event with people that they have security? I've seen a shoppers with better security than this. Like, are you effing kidding me? They don't even notice until it's way too late. And guess what? Guess what the worst part is? That wasn't even Twitch's security.
Go on. Why are you the way that you are?
That was her own personal security that she brought. Twitch doesn't even attempt to hold the guy afterwards and allows him to walk free.
Yeah, I got a hashtag give it back. So, seeing meet and greet was pretty cool though. That was fun. Saw the homies back there. Dude, I can't imagine what Joe is doing this whole time.
The worst part is Emiru's staff wouldn't have been able to hold them there if they wanted to without getting in trouble from Twitch. Yeah, I said that right. He would have gotten in trouble from Twitch. At a previous Twitch event, her security got a hold of a stalker that was following her around at their event and managed to detain him until authorities got there. He did his job that he was paid for by Emiru.
How the hell you gonna get fired on your day off? I don't know.
Just for Twitch to permanently ban this guy from future events to protect her. In what world does that make sense? This is absolutely diabolical and a huge gross negligence on Twitch's end. But here's a clip of Emiru explaining what happened at that event.
I had a security guard 2 years ago where there was a guy following me around TwitchCon, and he like asked him to stop multiple times. My guard asked him and the guy wouldn't stop, so he grabbed the guy, but he didn't like hurt him. He was just holding the guy until like the con security came. And then for some reason they're like, yeah, because your security guard touched him, he's like perma-banned from the venue forever. But he didn't even hit him or anything. He just like held him while
I'm still honestly at a loss for words for how stupid they are, but it only gets dumber. This was Twitch's response to this situation. Okay, I'm just joking. But their actual first response was even worse. At least this takes some accountability. They at first were just gonna give the assaulter a 30-day ban. Like, what in dystopian world are we living in? Or these clowns are living in? That is some Black Mirror shit. They banned her personal security permanently and gave the assaulter a 30-day ban. How liberal of them. They've given streamers more time for calling Frogan the Hut molecularly massive. Also, while I'm writing this, there's still no reports of an arrest being made, which speaks volumes about society and Twitch. Because if Twitch has enough info to ban him, then why haven't they turned it over to the authorities? And why haven't they made an arrest? They're too busy picking up female creators and throwing them on the fucking ground. I'm not joking. This happened in the same night that Emiru got SA'd. Check this out.
Alright guys, I am not a trained professional. Don't try this at home.
What the fuck is this old crone doing? And I know crone is meant for women, but this dude's a bitch and allows terrorists and dog abuse supporters on his platform. Do you think it can't get worse? Well, buddy pal, don't I got something for you. This is his response to the situation.
And a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very different. When I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about, securing this environment. We're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine, and so I want to see how we can support her.
He basically just blamed her for everything that happened. Like, what do you mean control your community? People aren't mad about people being weirdos in a chat. They're fuming because you allowed one of your most popular Twitch streamers to be sexually assaulted in front of a crowd that you were in charge of controlling. How can you claim to be working with your creators when you took away Emiru's security? What an absolute joke, man. It was someone dead. Females have been targeted from stalkers before on Twitch, and that's well known. So why weren't the proper protocols put in place? Absolutely gross negligence. I think the only thing that could help Twitch is getting Dan the Gooning Lord Clancy fired. Maybe we could start one of those petitions to do so, because this moment absolutely deserves it. Twitch switching from a gaming platform to an everything platform without any foresight is really starting to show with their policy management. I think they need to take the stakeholder approach of business, because since it's in Amazon's hands, they probably only care about shares and only reports that Twitch make to them. A stakeholder approach is the idea that management considers the interest of all people affected by a company's actions. Everybody who has a stake, that includes the streamer, the viewer, management, and that's everybody. I believe by putting names to faces for a lot of the people that are in charge of banning and moderating, the platform will greatly benefit people. I also think some form of homogenized culture could be implemented by giving the option to streamers to allow them to have country-only chats or some form of separation from other places, not necessarily the views, because that could impact streamers' bottom lines as well as the companies. But through geo-locked chats, I think some rhetoric that occurs on this platform would diminish, and you would see who actually promotes certain rhetoric in certain areas. I think that would be a very interesting way to handle it. But thanks for sticking to the end. It's been your boy EverLast. Like, sub, and hit that share button so I can be the next Rick Frapp. Peace.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.